not the deadbeats, the people in them. $400,000 homes? I'll take one. You know, why restrict it to the people that, you know, lied on the loan application or borrowed against their house to, you know, go on trips and buy SUVs and stuff like that? Who are the bailout bandits? Who's making money on this deal? Homeowners who lie about their incomes to take out mortgages they can't afford. Now, you know, if you look at the home business, refis are a huge part of it. So for every 100 new mortgages, a large number of those, maybe 60, 70, 80%, are refinancings. Many of the present home foreclosures are not people that bought at the peak in the Halloween of 2006. They're people that bought before that, and as the quoted market value of their home went up, they went and refied and used the money to sustain a lifestyle they couldn't afford. It's very interesting to see what's happened to borrowing practices in America. In 2000, I was writing a book. And in 2000, the market value of equities in America was about $14 trillion. The market value of bonds in America was about $14 trillion. Today, less than a decade later, the market value of publicly traded debt is about $33 trillion, and the market value of equities is about $8. Today, bonds are 4 times as big as a stock market. And if you think about investing, it's kind of interesting. Everybody who wants to run away from risk is buying the most overpriced asset class in the world, U.S. Treasury securities. Gullible and or deceitful lenders and Wall Street investors with gigantic losses. The FBI did a study. In the state of Arizona, 70% of the loan foreclosures were on loans where there was material misstatement on the loan application. People lied about their income, they lied about the application of the funds, and so on. It's real common to find cases in Arizona and Nevada where a home's on the market for $400,000 and bam, it sells for $500,000. Holy mackerel. How could you sign an MLS document and have the home sell for $500,000? If you look at a contract to sell a home, if you sign up with a realtor to sell your home for $400,000 and anybody comes up with an offer for $400,000 and you don't sell to them, you owe your realtor a commission. It's a contract. What happened in many of those markets was that people came along and they paid $500,000 for a $400,000 listed home, got 100% financing at the closing, and got $150,000 back from the seller at the closing. Made a couple mortgage payments, X-ray, out of here. That has nothing to do with overpriced housing. That's simple, straight financial fraud. You've never heard the name David Wittig? How many's ever heard the name David Wittig? Anybody? He was the head of Western Resources. And everybody was out to get David Wittig because he was from New York. And he spent lots of money. And he was more successful than they were. And so they finally got him on falsifying a loan application for a local bank. He asked for a loan for $1.5 million for real estate investment. He borrowed $1.5 million. It went into a real estate investment for a friend. And he's at Leavenworth because of that. Imagine the local DA running for election in LA County. 80% of the loan applications are fraudulent. This is not like smoking pot in a dark movie theater. We know exactly who you are and where to find you. You elect me DA, we'll prosecute you and put your butt in jail. Probably not a winning campaign slogan, right? But I think you should think about this because now you are being asked, you are being forced to pay for that. Not only that, let's bail out GM. You know, when the market is working well, firms that produce stuff that consumers don't want lose, and firms that produce stuff consumers want win. And, you know, people ask me, so what do you think of the bailout of GM? I said, why don't you bail out Toyota or Lexus? They make cars I'd like to drive. I mean, a recession is bad, right? Not exactly. A recession is like working out. Nobody works out because they like the pain of working out. It's for the good it does afterwards. Recession is the process of taking resources from inefficient producers and giving them to efficient producers. Consumers vote. You determine who's efficient, who's inefficient. And in the present world, that power is being taken away from you. The federal government is now saying you are incapable of making good decisions in your automobile purchases. We have to do it for you. Rather than emphasize cars like the Toyota Prius, we're going to subsidize the manufacturer of the Hummer. Does anybody get this? How is that a good idea? Now, I've got a theory. It could be wrong, but it's worked pretty well so far. My theory is you know what kind of vehicle you want better than I do. You know better what you want than anybody else does. And now, everybody is applauding the idea that you're bailing out inefficient manufacturers that have been voted down by consumers and, in effect, penalizing manufacturers that have been voted up by consumers. I think you should think about that, because being able to pick your car is maybe one of the things you want to do. In a typical year, there's about 16 million vehicles produced in America, about 8 million trucks, about 8 million cars. Right now, because of the recession, there's about 9 million being sold. That's less than the scrap rate. There is a huge boom coming in the demand for cars, trucks, and so on. And we have a policy in place of subsidizing the producer of Hummers rather than Toyota Prius. Now, people don't like to think of public servants as power hungry, right? And from the government, I'm here to help you. There's nothing in it for me. I just want to help you. Think about this, people. Politicians are people too. They are just as greedy and self-interested as you are. And if you don't get it, you should pay attention. Because right now they're taking your choice for automobiles away from you and a whole host of other consumer products. With the bailout program, there's about $800,000 going into a Frisbee park in Austin, Texas. And you know what? I like Frisbee. I think that's real cool. I'd rather get a baseball ticket. I'd rather go to a baseball game than go play Frisbee. So why don't you give me some little, give me a little candy and give me a little baseball stuff? Or why don't you buy me a jet ski? I've got a pretty good jet ski, but I'd like a new one. Why should you be paying to build Humvees? I'd rather have a jet ski. In fact, I'm happy to pay for a jet ski. I don't want no damn Humvee. Now I need a participant from the audience. And to keep you from falling totally asleep, would you help me for a moment? Come on up front. Now, let's go up to the board here. This is a prep for how much is $787 billion, okay? Now, $1 billion is a lot, okay? Now, if we look up there, and what's your name? Jenny. Jenny? Hi, I'm Mark. Pleased to meet you. Finance, 464, 410. See you next fall. How much is $1 billion? It's got lots of zeros. It's got lots of zeros. So, Jenny, how much is 1 billion seconds? Girl, this is your opportunity to shine. Personality. This is not accounting. Go for it. 1 billion seconds. How much is 1 billion seconds? Loud. You can read it. You can read it. Loud. They can't hear you back there.
31.7 years ago.
It's so much that 1 billion seconds ago, Notre Dame had a good football team. That's a long time ago, right? Mm-hmm. Now, we're warming up, because this isn't the slide where you're going to be under pressure. It's the next slide you're under pressure, okay? How long ago was 1 billion minutes ago?
1902.6 ago.
Yeah, the Roman Empire had 288 years to go. You know, a billion minutes ago, that's a long time ago, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
You never thought you'd teach today, did you?
No.
Okay. How long was a billion hours ago?
114,000.